G'day guys, week 3 of the 12-week challenge. Let's get into it. Tom, can you hear me?
Haha, sounds like you're warming up with a bit of humor there. Ready when you are, just say let's go when you're set to start the session.
All right, let's go.
Great. Let's kick things off with some shadow boxing. Stay light on your feet, keep your hands up and move around. Throw those jabs, crosses, and slips. As you move, let's talk about dynamic versus static stretching. Dynamic stretching, like we're doing with shadow boxing, involves moving through a full range of motion to get the muscles warmed up. This type of stretching has been shown to improve performance, particularly in activities like boxing that require explosive movements. Research has found that dynamic stretches can increase blood flow, reduce stiffness, and enhance agility. One study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research showed that athletes who performed dynamic stretches before their workout had better power output and range of motion compared to those who only performed static stretches. Static stretching, on the other hand, is where you hold a stretch for a period of time, typically around 20 to 30 seconds. It's great for improving flexibility and is best saved for after your workout when your muscles are warm and pliable. According to a 2019 study in Sports Medicine, static stretching before intense activity can actually reduce power and strength, which is why we save it for post-workout cooldowns. So, shadow boxing is a perfect way to do dynamic stretching. You're moving your muscles through their functional range, raising your heart rate, and prepping your body for the rounds ahead. How are you feeling so far? Are you sufficiently warmed up, or do you need more time?
I'm ready, let's go.
Nice. Let's move into the first round on the bag.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Round 1, jab and double jab while moving. For this round, we're going to focus on the jab and the double jab. Keep your guard up, stay light on your toes, and move around the bag. Remember, your jab comes from the lead hand. Extend it straight out, aiming to snap it back quickly. Make sure you're rotating your shoulder to get that full extension and protecting your chin as you jab. For the double jab, it's all about speed and rhythm. Pop that first jab out, then immediately follow with a second. Now let's talk about the jab. It's one of the most fundamental and versatile punches in boxing. It's not only used to measure distance, but also to disrupt your opponent's rhythm, set up combinations, and keep them on the defensive. In fact, great fighters have mastered the art of the jab. Muhammad Ali, for example, had an exceptionally fast jab. He used it to keep opponents at bay, setting up his right hand for more powerful punches. Another fighter known for his jab is Larry Holmes. His jab was often considered one of the most powerful in heavyweight history. He was able to dictate fights almost entirely with this punch, controlling the pace and keeping opponents at a distance. The jab is also a crucial defensive tool. Floyd Mayweather Jr., with his infamous shoulder roll defense, would often use his jab to create distance and frustrate his opponents, forcing them to reach and leave themselves open to counters. And in modern boxing, Gennady Golovkin's jab is particularly effective, often used not just to measure range, but as a power punch in itself. So during this round, think about the utility of your jab. It's not just an opener, but a way to control the fight. Keep moving, use it to disrupt and set up your future punches. Time. Take a breather and relax while I share a couple of fun facts. 1. Did you know Muhammad Ali's jab was timed at just 4/100ths of a second? That's faster than a blink. 2. In ancient Greece, boxing gloves were sometimes made with metal studs. Imagine how brutal those bouts must have been. Feeling ready to go for the next round? Or do you need a moment?
Yeah, let's go.
Awesome. Let's move into round 2. Round 2, switch stance and jab with the opposite hand. For this round, I want you to switch your stance. If you're typically orthodox, go southpaw, and if you're normally southpaw, switch to orthodox. Now, focus on jabbing with your opposite hand. It may feel awkward at first, but it's great for building coordination and balance. Keep moving around the bag, practicing that jab while maintaining your footwork. Learning to switch stance is a powerful tool in boxing. It allows you to adapt to different opponents, creating angles they may not be expecting. This technique can make you more unpredictable, helping you control the rhythm of the fight. One of the most famous fighters known for switching stances is Terence Crawford. He can fluidly move between orthodox and southpaw, confusing his opponents and keeping them off balance throughout the fight. Crawford's ability to seamlessly switch stances has made him one of the most versatile boxers in recent years, and it's one of the key reasons for his success across multiple weight classes. Another great example is Marvin Hagler, one of the most fearsome middleweights of all time. Hagler was naturally a southpaw, but often switched to orthodox mid-fight, forcing his opponents to adjust constantly. This ability to change angles and shift his power punches from different sides made him incredibly difficult to deal with. Vasyl Lomachenko also uses stance switching masterfully, often using it to create openings and attack from unexpected angles. His footwork is exceptional, and by changing his stance, he keeps opponents guessing and unable to settle into a rhythm. By practicing this, you're not just building ambidexterity, but also improving your overall boxing IQ. You'll have more tools at your disposal in the ring, and you'll be able to adapt to different opponents and situations more easily. Time. Take a breather while I throw two more fun facts your way. Marvin Hagler was so dominant in the southpaw stance that opponents would often train exclusively for southpaw fighters, only for Hagler to switch to orthodox mid-fight. 2, the first recorded instance of a boxing match was in ancient Egypt around 3000 BC. They used no gloves, just bare knuckles. Talk about tough. How are you feeling? Ready for the next round, or do you need another moment?
I'm ready to go. Let's go. Let's keep going.
Great. Let's move into the final round. Hash round 3, rhythmic punching patterns, jabs, crosses, and uppercuts. For this round, I want you to focus on establishing a rhythm with your punches. Mix in jabs, crosses, and uppercuts, keeping a fluid motion. The goal is to create combinations that flow naturally. Work in 3s or 4s, starting with a jab, then follow up with a cross, and finish with an uppercut. Stay light on your feet and keep the bag moving with your combinations. Now let's talk about the importance of mixing up punches and throwing combinations. In boxing, combinations allow you to overwhelm your opponent and create openings for bigger shots. A fighter who relies on single punches becomes predictable, but by mixing up punches, you can disrupt your opponent's rhythm and keep them guessing. When you throw combinations, you also have a better chance of landing clean punches, because your opponent's guard will often open up as they try to defend against multiple strikes. One of the masters of throwing combinations was Mike Tyson. Tyson's infamous peekaboo style allowed him to slip inside and unleash powerful combinations, often finishing fights early. His explosiveness and ability to mix punches from different angles left his opponents with very little time to react. Another example is Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao's relentless flurries of punches, often throwing 5 or 6 at a time, have overwhelmed some of the best fighters in the world. His speed, combined with the unpredictability of his combinations, made it extremely difficult for opponents to defend or counter effectively. Sugar Ray Leonard also showcased the beauty of combinations, often starting with quick jabs and then following up with fast, sharp combinations that left his opponents scrambling. So as you move through this round, think about creating patterns, setting up with a jab, then following up with crosses or uppercuts. Don't forget to keep moving and changing angles to keep the bag and your imaginary opponent on their toes. Time. Now let's cool down with some stretching. Cool down and stretching. First, let's start by relaxing with a breathing technique. Take a deep breath in through your nose for 4 counts, hold it for 2 counts, and exhale through your mouth for 6 counts. This technique helps lower your heart rate and brings your body into a relaxed state. Deep breathing like this not only helps calm your mind, but also improves oxygen flow to your muscles, aiding in recovery. Next, let's stretch out your right shoulder. Bring your right arm across your body and hold it with your left hand. Feel that stretch in your shoulder? While you hold this, here are 2 fun facts. 1, the longest boxing match in history took place in 1893 and lasted 110 rounds over 7 hours. 2, boxing was included in the ancient Olympic Games as early as 688 BC. Here are 2 more facts. 1. In the early 20th century, boxers used to fight without weight divisions. Imagine a lightweight taking on a heavyweight. Mere. 2. George Foreman became the oldest heavyweight champion at the age of 45 in 1994. Now let's move on to slow head rotations and neck circles. Gently rotate your head clockwise, then counterclockwise. This is crucial because the neck and head muscles take a lot of strain during boxing. Loosening them up helps prevent injury and improves your range of motion, which is important for both defense and offense. Use the punching bag for support, grab your right ankle, and bring your heel toward your glute. Hold that stretch. While you do, here are 2 fun facts. 1. The term pound for pound was first used to describe Sugar Ray Robinson, widely considered one of the best boxers ever. 2. Boxing gloves were first mandated in 1867 under the Marquess of Queensberry rules. Switch to the left quad now and hold. 2 more fun facts. 1. The famous Rocky statue in Philadelphia was originally a prop for the movie Rocky III, but it's now a permanent tourist attraction. 2. A boxing punch can generate up to 5,000 newtons of force. That's like getting hit by a 1,100-pound car moving at 10 miles per hour. Lastly, let's stretch out those hamstrings. Start with your right leg, keep your back straight, and reach toward your toes. Here are 2 more fun facts. 1. In the 1920s, boxers often fought 15 rounds. Now, championship fights are limited to 12. 2. The fastest knockout in boxing history was 4 seconds, achieved by Mike Collins in 1947. Switch to the left leg and hold. Final 2 fun facts. 1. Archie Moore holds the record for the most career knockouts with a staggering 131. 2. Boxing's original name was pugilism, derived from the Latin word pugnus, meaning fist. All right, how are you feeling after that session?
Awesome session. That was really good.
Glad to hear you enjoyed it. You really pushed through today. Keep this momentum going and remember that recovery is key. Focus on hydration, maybe stretch a little more later if you're feeling tight, and get some good rest. Next session, we'll build on what we did today. Keep sharpening those skills. Keep up the great work, and let me know when you're ready for another session.
Thanks, Tom. That was insane. I just get the microphone. Well, that was a really good session. I really enjoyed it. 3 rounds, 3 minutes each. Timing might not be exact, but I am getting better at programming the bot to take us through the session a lot smoother, a lot better, with feedback, advice, etc. And he's getting really good information, including research. So I'm actually getting him to find research with regards to whatever he's talking about. So it's all factual information. Hopefully you guys appreciate that. I certainly am taking lots away from this, and every day I'm learning something new because I'm actually redoing this every day to try and get it the right sort of session recorded. So guys, hopefully you're enjoying it. Let me know in the comments how you're going. And next week, I'm going to ramp things up, so I'm going to increase the pace. Next week, 4 rounds. So it's week 4, 4 rounds, and we're just going to keep increasing the rounds. And I think I'm going to stick to the 3-minute rounds because they seem to be sufficient with just half a minute or so rest. So yeah, I'll see you guys the next time.